Hi and welcome to yoga. Brittney here, and that's Jen. She's going to be our model for today while Robin is away on vacation with her family. If you have the playlist, I dropped it in the chat, and there's a link below. But let's hit play with Age of Consent in 3, 2, 1. All right. I haven't come up with a word for May yet. Maybe you have picked your word. But I just want to move through this flow intuitively a bit with you. And I just ask you to feel into your body and see if anything organic comes out of it that maybe you're not so sure it looks good. I don't care about aesthetics here. I just care about how it feels in your body. So I might have you do a few different things. So just be open, and maybe that's your word. Maybe that's your intention for this practice, is to be curious and keep your eyes closed if it worries you what you look like, right? But remember, it's more about how you feel. So have your blocks ready. And we can start in a seat to get grounded on top of a block. You can put your shins down or you can cross your legs in front, totally up to you. Just get comfortable, right? Maybe you're on your shins and your knees are wide, kind of like child's pose. I don't know why, but this feels good for me today. So that's what I'm gonna do. Start dropping in by closing your eyes. You can rest your hands wherever you want, on top of your thighs, your knees, even slide them up to your hips with your elbows out wide. And just root down through your tail, your sits bones, your ankles, your thigh bones. Notice the energy you carry in your lower half. I went on a run today and my legs felt very heavy. And they still kind of have that energy. So notice what you did today, or think about what you did today and see how you're feeling. Start taking your awareness up into your low back, your belly, your heart, the back of your heart, around your shoulder blades, all the way up into the top part of your torso. And take a deep breath in through your nose until you feel it come up to your throat, and then breathe out of your mouth. Twice more. Breathe in, belly, all the way up to your chest and throat. Exhale out of your mouth. One more to clear it all out. Breathe in. Exhale to release. And keep breathing in and out just through your nose. Have your exhale match your inhale, or keep your exhale a little bit longer than your breath in. Take your awareness up into your shoulders, your arms, down into your hands, and then back up along the back side of your arms to the base of your neck, and up to the bottom of your head and around the top, all the way up to the frontal lobe of your brain, your face. If you're carrying anything heavy in your head, I just invite you to drop it down for now. Leave it alone. You can always come back to any thoughts or to-dos later. This time is for you. This time is for your breath, your body. Make that commitment to yourself with one more breath in and a confirming breath out. And just rest your hands down to your thighs or even off to the side, to your mat. Nod your chin down to your chest. And start to roll one ear over to one shoulder, back through the middle, and over to the other side. And slowly start to let your entire spine flow with you. So kind of like you're at a party and like you're rocking your head from side to side. So let your spine go with you. Let the chest move and belly move with you. It's almost like your tailbone wanted to connect to the back of your head on each side. And if your legs are crossed, notice if that feels different in your hips. One more time each side. Nice, come back to the center. And if your legs are crossed, go ahead and switch them out. Maybe zip your thighs in tighter together. And again, feel that press down. Breathe in, sweep your arms up to the sky. Good. Exhale and float your hands back apart with your fingertips up and a big stretch through your wrists. Notice how that feels, like you're pushing both ends of the room away that you're in. You can try rotating the fingers back and forward, keeping your arms at a T shape, strong, straight elbows. This rotation that's happening is coming from your shoulder muscles. Rotator cuff. Do you feel something different in your hands? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you've been sitting and working, writing, holding, gripping things, this could feel a little intense. So you could always go one hand and then the other as you stretch. Maybe taking your hands more into flexion or rolling the wrists out all the way. If you're taking those wrist rolls, go the opposite direction. Get all those cracks out. Start to feel the heat in your arms build. Then take a big breath in, sweep your hands to the sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good. Go ahead and shift forward onto all fours. Take that block out to the side at the top of your mat. Come into all fours with shoulders over wrists and your hips over your knees. I'm going to show you from the side, kind of like what we just did before in seating. I just can't pick the right words. Seated. Okay, you're going to lift your tailbone and lift your head over to one direction. So you feel this stretch on the opposite waistline. You're going to keep moving into extension, so into your cow pose, and then all the way over into that other side and into your cat pose. So it looks like a big barrel roll. Maybe you start to feel more around your waist, across your hips. Reverse that barrel roll the other way. Don't worry about how big it is or what it looks like. Again, you could always just close your eyes and just look for those tiny feelings of openness on both your front and your back, as well as your left to right sides. Nice. Come to stillness. Take your knees out wide, bring your big toes together, push your hips back onto your heels. And you can keep pushing in through your hands to get this touch as best as you can, butt to heels, and getting the tops of your ankles to really stretch out. So you're giving yourself some leverage, right? Using the ground to anchor in. From there, you can start to let your chest fall on top of a block, or you can use your hands to support your head. And just feel it out for a few moments. Two more breaths right here. Again, anchoring in, feeling curious. Now lift up your head. If your arms are outstretched, I want you to take your hands to about shoulder width distance apart. Let your elbows anchor in, and I want you just to slither yourself forward onto your belly. So push your knees back, Come all the way down so that your hips are down. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders. So if you need to adjust that, find that. And notice if you have any low back tension here. What I really want you to focus on is finding a little energy into your legs, pushing down through the tops of your feet, feel your kneecaps lift off the ground, and then actively push your pubic bone into the earth. So your waistband, your low waistband starts to lift up. And then from there, actively pull your elbows back towards your hips and take your shoulder blades down across your back, chin off your chest. Notice what you feel here. Big stretch across your belly, or maybe a huge activation in your upper back, your low back, potentially your glutes, your quads. Keep the energy in your hands. And breathe for one more. And exhale and take your elbows wide and just relax your spine down. Bend your knees and go left to right with your ankles. Big windshield wipering for your low back. Okay. So keep your right hand underneath your face. And you can straighten out your right leg. Take your left hand all the way around and see if you can grab your left foot. Now energetically pull your inner thighs closer together. They don't have to touch, but keep your knees in alignment with your hips as best as you can. And pull your heel towards your butt. If it touches, great. If it doesn't, also great. Push your pubic bone down into the earth again. So you get the lengthening of your low back and you can feel this focus on the front of your thigh. If your knee starts to lift up, that's okay. And of course, if it feels better to put one ear down to the ground, you can do that too. Stay for one more breath. And then you can let your left foot go, but keep your knee bent. Bring your right arm out to the side in a cactus shape or in a straight T shape like you did before. Use your left hand to help push you over onto your right side. And with that left foot, reach back behind you so your spine takes a little twist. You can keep using your left hand as leverage to help push you over, and you can feel this in the front of your right shoulder. Maybe you bend your bottom leg, your right leg, and prop your foot on the inside of your left thigh. Like your knee wanted to reach up for the sky. So you can feel this stretch across your hips again and across your thigh. If a half bind feels good here, you could take your left hand behind your back. But then you kind of lose that leverage. So see what you like. Take 3 more breaths here. Focus on making your whole entire body heavy and just soften in to the experience. You don't have to pressure your body into doing anything it doesn't want to, but you could always coax it with your breath out. Cool. Relax your legs long behind you, roll back onto your belly. If your shoulders need a reset, come back into the Sphinx pose where you're up on your elbows and roll your shoulders around. Kind of feels weird because it's grounded, but see if you can go both ways. It looks like you're like a fish, like, or a lizard doing push-ups. Okay, that's basically what it feels like. So maybe you embody that. All right, come down with your head on top of your left hand. Reach your right arm around for your right foot. Grabbing from the outside is probably a little easier. And of course, if you can't grab your foot, using a towel or a strap or a t-shirt is great. And again, just focus on the energy of pubic bone down into the earth, left leg active and long, So you don't feel any of this pulling in your low back. The stretch comes into the top of your thigh. And when you breathe, can you feel the rebound of your belly against the ground and up into the space around you? Try bringing your thighs a little closer together. 2 more breaths. And let your foot go gently, but keep your knee bent so your foot's just like floating in the air. Bring your left hand out to the side or your left elbow out to the side. Use your right arm to help push you over as you breathe out onto your left side. So you're taking a twist. Look over to the right. Again, you can just play with the shape that your legs take or even where your right arm goes. Maybe the longer you're here, you can play with taking away the leverage. Just see where your body ends up relaxing into. Don't be afraid to change shapes. And take 3 more. Let go of your legs, let them come back long across your mat. So you can roll over onto your belly. You can again just stay down with the head down and just see what resonates in your body, or you can come up onto your elbows and try moving your shoulders in a different way. I'm just going from side to side. You could also just tick-tock your legs again if that feels good. And then take some stillness for 1 breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then actively take your hands underneath your shoulders. Pull your elbows in tight together, belly button up towards your spine. Push yourself up into all 4s with nice strong strength. Good. And then tuck your toes under, walk your hands forward just a smidge. Okay, and again, take your breath in, finding length in your spine. Good, breathe out, lift your hips up to your first down dog of the practice. And take time to pedal or move. Or find again that settled pose. Just checking in with your body, what this shape feels like today. So listen closely. You're going to keep your hands where they are. All right, keep pushing your heart back towards your thighs. Bend your knees to start. And spread your fingers out wide. Notice if your heels can disappear behind your ankles. Your feet are hip-width distance apart. And take a breath in and lift your heels up to the sky. Bend your knees. Inhale, hips up. Straight legs. Exhale, heels down. Try that one more time. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, bend your knees deeply. Inhale, straighten out your legs. Exhale, drop your heels down. Nice. And then put your heels together so your toes are wide. Maybe you feel this on your outer back thighs. We're going to do that same thing again, but in this heel touching position. Breathe in and lift your heels up. Exhale, bend your knees. Feel that stretch in your shoulders. Inhale, hips to the sky. Exhale, lower your heels. One more round. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, heels down. Go ahead and parallel your feet again. Start to walk your feet up towards your hands to give your shoulders a break. You can hold onto your elbows and give yourself some traction. Pull your shoulders down towards the earth. Shake out your head. Even shake out your shoulders. You can move your arms around like little noodles. We'll take one more breath here. Relax your hands down to the earth. Bend into your knees. Slowly stack your spine like you're unrolling. Once you arrive, roll your shoulders towards your ears. Exhale, let them roll back. Let your palms face the front. Check out your feet. Have them underneath your hips for now. And then close your eyes. What do you feel in your lower half now? What do you feel around your center? And how do you feel on your top half? Try shifting your energy into your left foot and then into your right foot. And see if you can pendulum yourself somewhere in the center where you feel strongly aligned. Your breath is full and expansive. One more right here, just to enjoy being. Sometimes yoga doesn't have to be about the doing. It's practicing being here, being now. And take a breath in, take your fingertips up to the sky. And exhale, take your right hand to your hip. Take a side bend all the way over. Your hips don't have to travel to the left, but it might feel good for you. And maybe your hips just stay stacked. And you really reach just with your upper half. Connect back to that center part of your core. Use it. Breathe in, come back to the center, both arms high. Exhale, take your left hand to your hip. Come up and over with your right. So you can stay again with your hips centered, or you can let your hips go. We'll try it one more time each side. Inhale up to the top. Good. Exhale, hand to the hip, or slide your hand down your thigh. Keep your chest and chin open and broad. Good. Breathe in, come back to the center. Exhale, try the other side. Collect your core. Inhale, back up to the sky with your hands. Exhale, dive it down. Come forward. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, and keep your hands around your right foot with blocks. And step your left foot behind you. Lower your left knee down. Okay, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, settle into your hips. Keep your knee over your ankle for now. I want you to stay pretty lungy, pretty low here. Okay. We're gonna stay nice and low and notice how you feel in your low back. Keep checking in there and play with taking your hands to your heart. Challenge your balance a bit. Maybe you take your gaze up. Maybe you take your hands up. Second challenge, interlace your hands, put them behind your head. Elbows stay wide. Look up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out as you really pull your belly in. Protect your low back. And inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to the blocks. Shift your hips back. Ooh, nice work. Okay, like a little wave. Inhale, spine comes up. Exhale, move yourself down. Again, inhale, lift your spine. Exhale, fold it in. One more, inhale. And exhale. Stay in this hamstring stretch for your right side. You can eventually move, take shapes that are different without the blocks. Try pointing down your toes and then pulling them up. See if you can focus on taking your chin off your chest. Or if it feels good to really relax your neck down, that's okay. Remember, it's not about how it looks all the time, but about how it feels. So find your corners that need some sweeping. Pause with your toes up if you've been moving your ankle. And grab one block, put it underneath your left shoulder or your left hand. Okay. Notice your right knee and toes. Keep them pointing up towards the sky. Anchor your hips back and really feel that energy of your legs coming together. And then take a breath in. Take your right arm up to the sky. Notice if you feel your toes or your kneecap wanting to splay open to the right. Can you pull them up in center? Are you leaning away from your leg? The closer you get to your leg, maybe you'll feel more on the outside. We'll take one more breath here. And a breath out to let that right arm come back down. Grab both blocks. Bend into your right knee. Stamp that right foot down. Use your hands if you need to. Tuck your left toes under. Lift your left knee. Take a breath in as you keep your chest lifted. Take one breath out as you pulse your hips up and back, straight legs, head down. One more time. Inhale, knee bends in the front, straight leg in the back, heart up. Exhale, pulse your hips up and back. Nice. Now bend into your right knee and take your blocks to the highest height. You start to walk yourself forward so you're lifting off your left toes. Nice. And just take a big breath in, big breath out. I want you to feel out this balance on your right foot. And if you're feeling like you want a small challenge, you can take your right hand to your heart, maybe even your left hand to your heart. Nice work. Take one more big breath in. Big breath out, grab your blocks, let your left foot come down by your right, fold forward. Shake it out, sway it out. You can do anything for a minute, right? So 5 breaths should feel like nothing. All right, check in with yourself. Take a breath in, find a halfway lift. And exhale and step your right foot back, right knee back. And settle down, leading with your pubic bone. Find the depth, the hip flexor stretch for your right side. Stay right here with your knee over your ankle. And then play with challenging yourself. You can stay as you are. That feels like it's your edge. And then you can play with taking your hands to your heart. It's okay to find a little gentle back bend in your low back if that feels okay, as long as you feel connected to your core in the front. And you can take your hands up. Tell your left big toe to stay down. As you interlace your hands behind your head, keep your elbows wide, heart open, like you're leaning up and back over a beach ball. Stay rooted in that left foot. Remember what it feels like to power up through that left glute. One more breath. And exhale, Let that all go. Reach for your blocks. Shift your hips back. Straighten out your left leg. Take a breath in as you float your spine up a touch. And then exhale, fold. Again, inhale, round yourself up. Exhale, coax yourself down. Last time, breathe in. Breathe out. Let yourself get heavy. Like you're trying to spill the contents of your pelvic bowl forward, which includes your upper half. Imagine your sits bones getting wider behind you, especially your left one. Pull back on that left hip and play with pointing your toes down or pulling up or staying right there. One more time. Actively pull your toes up. Grab your block. Put it underneath your right shoulder and keep it kind of close to your leg, right? Notice your kneecap on the left. Keep pulling back on this left hip crease and breathe in. Sweep your left arm up to the sky. Pull your shoulder blades behind your back. And notice if you're flying away from your leg, right, and opening yourself up, can you lean forward or lean towards your leg? Take another big breath in and a big breath out to release all of that. Nice. Grab your blocks, bend into your left knee, push down through your hands, tuck your right toes under, lift your right knee up. And just take a breath in here, pull your chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, pulse your hips up and back, straight legs, head down. One more round. Inhale, bend your left knee, lift up your heart. Exhale, pulse it up and back for this long pyramid. And breathe in, bend into your left leg. Stack your blocks up to the highest height. Start to walk them forward. Drag your right toes with you until they can actively lift off the ground. So we're here in a supported warrior three. You can stay supported, right, with the hips grounded, or you can challenge yourself and take your left hand to your heart, followed by your right. Remember that glute strength that you cultivated earlier in that low lunge. Keep your chin off your chest. Stay for one more breath. Nice. Exhale and relax the foot down. Come into your fold one last time. Maybe we'll get a little deeper for this one. Bend your knees a lot and slip your hands with your palms up, tops of the hands down, underneath your feet. And maybe you have to bend your knees a lot to get there. That's okay. Or you can take your two peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. Take a breath in, straighten out your spine as best as you can. Breathe out and lift your sits bones up to the sky as you drop your head low. Wrap your shoulder blades down your back. Elbows hug in tight, or you can go wide if that feels better. Try straightening your legs if you've got the room. One more. And gently release your feet or your fingers. Nice. Take your blocks and just pedal out your legs a bit. Just like downward dog, but you're folded forward. Okay. Make your way down onto your knees. You can swivel your heels across to one side and then take your feet out to the front. Cross your left ankle in first, followed by your right. And sit up as tall as you can. When you look down, remember we want that triangle for this modified pigeon, double pigeon. You can scooch the flesh out from underneath you. Okay, take a breath. When you breathe out, come down with a long spine to start. Maybe this is as far as you get until you feel something. And you can prop your head up with a couple of blocks. You could always do what Jen's doing, and she's doing like full double pigeon, stacking of the shins. Way more intense for the hips. Go ahead and take 4 deep breaths here. And remember, you can move with every breath out. Let your shins get heavier, especially your right one. On your 4th breath, begin to stack your spine. Put your feet out, windshield wiper them around if you need to, or if you feel ready to move into the other side. We're going right shin in first, followed by the left in front, or the left on top. Make those adjustments, scooching the flesh out, keeping your spine long. Breathe in, breathe out, lean yourself forward, leading with your heart rather than your head. Keep your hips anchored back. Just a couple more. Take your time, lifting yourself up. Move those blocks out of the way. Stamp your feet down, hands behind you. One more round of windshield wipering. Have your blocks at the middle of your space so that when you lower down, they're easy to grab. Okay, dig your heels in, bend your knees. Take a breath in, pull up your heart. Breathe out, slowly round onto your sacrum, and then your low back. Check out your front while you come all the way down onto your head. Bend your knees, bend your feet right behind your glutes. Take your hips up to the sky and put the blocks underneath your hips. You get 3 options. Stay in this bridge supported, or you can come into more of a banana shape and walk your legs out, or you can walk your feet up towards the sky for supported inversion. I want you to take 6 deep breaths as you select one posture. And on that sixth breath, you can move back into the supported bridge style with your feet flat, your knees bent. Push down into your feet and lift the block out from underneath you. Lower your hips down and just hug your knees into your chest. Rock side to side, massaging your low back, feeling out your low back. And see if you can create an arch in your low spine. Pull your knees out wide at the same time. And as if your thighs could go parallel to the earth, you grab onto your outer feet and stamp those guys up to the sky. And keep using your arms to drive your knees down. At the same time, lengthen your tailbone down towards the ground so that you keep your low back open and neutral, so that I can basically slip a pencil underneath your low back. Stay in this version of an active, happy baby for one more breath. And then you can free play it. Just go from side to side with the legs straight or bent. And then when you're ready, you can come back to the middle, come back to stillness, give yourself a hug. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out as you take a shape that'll feel good for your rest. A way to close out this practice for yourself. Jen's choosing a heart-opening version of her Shavasana. Feel free to lay flat or to sit. Let your breath go. Let yourself receive. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and let it all go. Feel yourself from the inside out and ask your body to show you the way, to guide you back out of your rest and into the rest of your day or evening. That could look like circling your ankles or your hands, or even nodding your head from right to left. Maybe it looks like just stillness for a little bit longer. Take your time, bend your knees, rolling over onto one side. if your body feels ready for it. And while you're there, think of one thing you're grateful for. Whatever that thing or that person or that feeling is, take it with you up into your seat. Take your hands to your heart. We'll close with one more breath together. Inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale to give it back. Thank you so much for showing up and practicing with us. From our hearts to yours. Namaste. Yay. Yay.